الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Inshallah, tonight we will begin our recitation in juz number 27 with Surah Ar-Rahman, widely memorized and very much a beloved surah to many people. People are familiar with its meanings, they've heard it many times. Surah Al-Waqi'ah, also extremely popular, followed by Surah Al-Hadid, Al-Mujadila, Al-Hashr, and Al-Mumtahina. Surah Al-Mumtahina, ayah number 7, to share a quick principle with you. Surah Al-Mumtahina was revealed towards the later part of the Prophet's life, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and there is a long backdrop to an incident that happened that I will save for another time. But in any case, there is an ayah number 7 and 8, that clarify a very, very important principle. And one of the things that happens is as we read the Quran, there can be verses that are confusing. And many of you have brought up to myself this month, verses that you don't understand, you feel confused, this doesn't make sense. A large chunk of those verses are verses that seem to show or encourage Muslims to show hostility towards non-Muslims. And naturally when you read them, if you pick out the verse on its own, it's very hard to understand that. How do we explain this verse? To make things worse, Islamophobes will pick these verses on purpose, and then they will say that, look, Muslims have this concept called taqiyya, where they say something and believe something else. So your Muslim neighbor doesn't really love you, but instead they say that and they wait for a moment to kill you, harm you, hurt you, do some damage to you. And this rhetoric, it gets very popular because boom, and here's my proof. Insert the verse. And you can respond to all of those verses with ayah number 7 of Surah Al-Mumtahina. It responds to the entirety of all of those verses. What is that? Allah Azza wa Jalla says, لا ينهاكم الله عن الذين لم يقاتلوكم في الدين ولم يخرجوكم من دياركم أن تبروهم وتقسطوا إليهم إن الله يحب المقسطين. Do not misunderstand from any of these verses that Allah does not want you to be in a state of bir and qist. Tabarruhum wa tuqsitu. State of bir and qist. With people who are not Muslim, they're not Muslim, but they did not attempt to fight you or kill you or drive you out of your homes. With these people, they're non-Muslim. And yes, there's a theological difference. Yes, our beliefs are completely different. But that matters in the akhirah, in the afterlife. That's for Allah to decide that. But here, Allah does not stop you from being in a state of bir with them and qist with them. What are these two words if we listen to them carefully? Qist is to be fair and to be just. It's the same word used for treating Muslims and non-Muslims in the Quran. To be fair, to be just. And bir is very interesting because bir is almost the epitome of good character. That's the word used for parents in the Quran. Birrul walidain, we say. So with my non-Muslim neighbor, with my non-Muslim classmate, with my non-Muslim co-worker, people who are friendly citizens to me, there is absolutely nothing that stops me from being kind to them, from being genuine with them, for caring with them, for being just with them. So I can't just cheat them out because there's a different code that applies because they're non-Muslim. It doesn't work like that. Inna Allah yuhibbul muqsitin. As a matter of fact, this is not only a good thing to do, it's a beloved act to Allah. Allah loves those that are fair. They have to be fair whether they're a Muslim or a non-Muslim. Okay, so then what do all of these verses apply to? إِنَّمَا يَنْهَاكُمُ اللَّهُ. Ayah number 8. عن الذين قاتلوكم في الدين وأخرجوكم من دياركم وظاهروا على إخراجكم أن تولوهم. The context is always going to be about a people who were hostile, a people who wanted to genocide you and kill you. The context is always going to be for these verses about this category of non-Muslims. But the non-Muslims that we deal with, It's absolutely our responsibility to be good with, to do good by them, to ensure that we're fair with them, and to ensure that through our character, we show what it means to be a true Muslim. These two ayat, they explain to us these two important categories. It's a beautiful form of da'wah. It's Ramadan. If you haven't talked to your co-worker, you might be shy about giving da'wah, but remember, it is our responsibility to put on a good example of what it means to be a Muslim to our non-Muslim friends, neighbors, co-workers, to show them the beauty of Islam. And there's no doubt that many converts, many reverts, they come into Islam through a good neighbor, through a good co-worker, through a good classmate. And we ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to make us from such a people. Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam.